Welcome to another adventure in real estate. Today we've got another familiar face. We've got Julie Kingery here with us from the Kingery team. Thank you for being with us, Julie.
Thanks for having me back.
So Julie, I'm gonna just kind of give you we'll set the stage in that I'm a first-time home buyer. I'm interested in purchasing a home. What are you gonna do to help set the stage for me to have a great home buying experience? What are some of the things you're gonna suggest?
Well, first, I'm going to try to make sure that you have spoken to a lender, just to make sure that you are going to be able to compete in this busy market that we have going on.
Right.
Seems like if you don't have a lender letter ready, there's no point in looking yet. So first off, we're going to set you up with a lender, make sure that they have a little background on work history, debt to income, things like that, which a lender can help explain that process a little bit better. I'm going to set you up, talk about criteria, what location you're looking for, price range, if you need to be in a specific school district for your children, you work close to Roanoke, want to be close to Roanoke, close to the lake, depending on where you want to be, price range, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms. We have a portal system that I can usually get your email and send listings as they come on the market to make sure that you're, something comes on the market, you get it immediately. Prepare you to be patient, because right now the market is busy. So when something really nice comes on, it seems like everybody wants it because there's not a lot to choose from. So we definitely reiterate to be patient right now. And the right house will come along.
Sure. I believe it's meant to happen, it will.
Right.
I certainly agree with that. So questions you might ask, you talked about the criteria and setting things up. I think about the things that help. The more information that me as the home buyer can share with you as the realtor, it's only going to help in the process, right?
That's right.
I mean, you get into specific things like I think about recently working with some folks, and they really wanted a basement. Mm-hmm. He was a big gamer, mm-hmm. and so he wanted a place that was dark and he could do his gaming.
Right.
And there's things like that if as a buyer, you need to share those specifics. That helps us do a better job. Is that fair?
Right. That's right. And sometimes it's great to know that, and sometimes it's hard for me to totally weed out everything that might not match that criteria. And that's another thing that I try to coach, if you will, on a first-time buyer, or any buyer really. Tell me your criteria, but sometimes I like to leave it a little more open because we have so many choices, or so few choices right now. I'd rather send you something you didn't necessarily have an interest in than you not get it at all. So then we weed out together. We talk, we either go see it or we talk about the details, and I can tell you, okay, I sent you this one, but it doesn't have a basement, so it might not work for you, but we can look at it if you want.
Well, and that's a great point. In this market, mm-hmm. with the lower inventory, you can drill down to where, it may be so tight that nothing's going to show up.
Right.
And so that you can get too far that way. Mm-hmm. But mm-hmm. I guess I encourage clients that when we have that conversation, if there is a specific thing, a specific need, and this, I use that gaming as one specific thing. To me, I think that's unique to them, right. But there could be other things mm-hmm. that, hey, we really got to have this. All one level living becomes right. a really common discussion, and people want their laundry mm-hmm. on the entry level, or the master bedroom on mm-hmm. the entry level, and that's a big discussion point that and some people say that, but then when it really comes down to it, they're willing to compromise to get another home that right. maybe the laundry is in the basement, right. where they said they really wanted
another advantage over one thing might outweigh that specific criteria that you thought you wanted and had to have. Acreage is another thing too. Acreage, some people don't want a big yard, and some people need an acre or 3 acres or 10 acres, depending on if they have horses or a goat or whatever. Sometimes acreage is one of those things that you have to have if you want a certain thing. So.
Yeah. some things you just got to have. So it all plays in there. The other thing I would just throw out, Julie, in thinking about from a communication standpoint, thinking about a first-time home buyer, are you, and I know this goes to, you may think this is funny, but how best to communicate with you. That's something that I've found, some people are not big texters.
Right.
Others, they've got, if it's not a text that they can read on their watch, they're not going to see it until late at night or first thing in the morning. And so I think that's a big key.
It is.
Not only communicating the specifics of the property, but then also how best do we communicate with you as the client.
And you do have both. Some people only want to email because they're at work during the day, or some people only text because they just don't like to pick up the phone. And then there are some people who, if you text them, they're going to pick up the phone and call you and say, what did you need? So that's a very important first step too, is to figure out the best way to communicate to each person.
Well, and it goes the other way, because I think about you. I take you're a big texter, I think.
I am, yes.
And myself, I much rather have the phone conversation than I would the text. So it's trying to understand, and obviously as real estate agents, as realtors, we are wanting to do what's best for the client. We're going to work with you, but if you communicate with us those specifics, I think we can help you.
That's right.
From that standpoint. So great stuff, Julie.
All right.
We appreciate you joining us today, and we will have you back again soon.
All right. Look forward to it.
Thank you all for joining us here on this adventure in real estate.